So I wanted to make comforting leek and potato soups. I had leeks, I had potatoes, I had herbs, I had stock, but when I went to the fridge, there was no cream to be found. So instead, I made some creamless, creamy leek and potato soup, and I'm going to share how I did it with you today. So I'm going to make this soup in the Instant Pot Pro, but any Instant Pot will do. You will need some leeks, potatoes, an onion. Ooh, I'm going to spill it. Some oil, some herbs. I'm going to use some dried thyme for this. Rosemary also works really well. Any herbs that you like will go in this soup. And then you're going to need some stock. I'm using some vegan bouillon powdered stock today. And then the ingredient that we're using to make this creamless soup super creamy are cashew nuts. So let's start with prepping the creamless cream. So to do that, we'll take our cashew nuts, get them into a heat-proof bowl, and then we're going to use some water that has been boiled in the kettle but is off the boil now, so not red hot, and then just pour enough water on the cashew nuts to cover them, and then we'll just put them to one side while we do the rest of the prep. So let's get our Instant Pot up and plugged in. Straight out the dishwasher and off we go. That's the advantage of Instant Pot. Stainless steel goes in the dishwasher. And now we're going to wait just a couple of minutes until the Instant Pot tells us it's hot. This is really important when you're using stainless steel. It really helps with cooking, so a good habit to get into. Okay, it's just beeped, so we are ready to get in our oil. So I'm putting in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, which I mainly use to cook with. So in with the leeks. I can hear that's quite hot, so I'm going to turn it down in a minute. So that's all of our leeks and onions now, and this is often called sweating the leeks. And you're just going to give them just a few minutes as if you were doing it on the stove top. Okay, so those have sweated down just a little bit, just to get a little bit of flavour going. And I'm going to season actually with a little bit of white pepper. White pepper and leeks are very good friends, as are white pepper and potatoes. So I find for this soup, white pepper is actually a nicer seasoning. So those have sautéed down now, and all we need to do is to add in our potatoes. And now I'm going to add in my thyme. Let's pop that on top. That's a teaspoon of dried thyme. And I will put the ingredients in the description below for this one. And if you do like this video, I'd really love it if you gave it a like. And now we're going to add in our stock. I'm using mixed up veg stock. In it goes. Quick stir. I'm not going to add salt because this stock powder is very salty, so I prefer to season it at the end. I will put in some of my lovely white pepper. Quite hot white pepper. I love the heat, but if you're not sure, just put a little bit in at this stage and then season again at the end. So that's everything in the Instant Pot. So all we need to do is get the lid on. I'm going to have it on pressure cook high. 4 minutes, and then we just click start. So that's going to take a minute or two to come to pressure. Then it's going to cook on pressure cook for 4 minutes, and then I'm going to give it 5 minutes to just settle itself down in what's called natural pressure release before I release the steam. So let's let out that steam. So that's the pin drop, so let's get our lid off. We'll press cancel, and then off with the lid. Shake off that water. And that is looking good. So let's just have a look and check the potatoes are cooked. Yeah, they are nicely cooked, easily mashable. If you've got waxier potatoes, they'll hold their shape better. These are mashers. Now I'm going to use another robot friend, the Vitamix. So we've drained our nuts and they are now ready to go to give us that super creaminess in the soup. Because we've soaked these, most blenders should be able to manage them absolutely fine. But if you're not sure, you can soak them for up to about 4 hours. And then what I'm going to do is take a couple of cups of this soup. Look at the state of that. I melted it, but it still works. And get those into the blender with the cashews. It's now super unctuous and creamy. So we're going to pour this in with our unblended soup. And you're starting to see now this beautiful creaminess that we can get into the soup with the cashews. You would never know it wasn't dairy. So let's have a taste. That is so good. And when you want to enjoy your next Instant Pot soup, take a look at this playlist here, pick the one you like and enjoy that lovely comfort food.